Life is too short, hold in your heart these words unspoken. Oh. We recorded in LA at Stag Street Studios. It's just this cool, funky place that I think they just left it exactly like it was when they built it in like the 70s or whatever it was. And when you get in there, you just know it's gonna sound, it just looks like it'll sound good, and it really did. It was awesome.
Oh, you're starting on 4?
I usually don't go into making a record with giving really any thought to, okay, this is what it's gonna sound like.
Here we go, after that break.
I just sort of write songs and then try to allow them to take shape in the studio, and very rarely do I nudge the musicians in one direction or another. They usually make it better than I had imagined it could be. But if there was one thing that I had in mind when making this record, it was that I wanted it to be more of a sort of guitar-centric record. Most of that guitar style, I think I'm drawing from sort of early blues stuff like Howlin' Wolf and you know, Robert Johnson. And some of the more really unrefined, raw sounding blues stuff is the mindset I had when coming up with some of the tunes on this record. Recordings like Howlin' Wolf and Robert Johnson, some of that old stuff, it's just a feeling. It's this crazy, almost spiritual thing to that stuff. And that happens to connect with me on a really deep level, and try my best to try to tap into whatever the heck they had, you know, when they did that stuff. So. This happens to me every time I make a record. I swear I'm not going to name it after one of the songs on the record, and then it's just, I do anyway. So, because there's like a deadline and we need a name for the record. And yeah, so one of the songs on the record is called Signs, and I figure that's a good theme for the record, Signs. You know, it could be taken a few different ways, but yeah, Signs is good. Signs will work. It's really nice to have somebody you get along with, have fun with, and Drew and I have a great rapport that way musically. So, and I respect him as much as any musician I've ever known of. So he's an awesome guy.
Okay.
Go ahead and close your eyes, the day is the time.
So look, let's do this. While we're here, let's go ahead and give him that extra track, just so it won't be crazy coming out because the other stops so abruptly there's nothing happening. So maybe you continue something like that under the solo.
Shannon Sanders, same thing. He's a great person, amazing songwriter, and an amazing musician. I've got to get on this road I travel. Bring Me Back Home is the song that I wrote with Josh Kelly on the record, and if you travel a lot like I do, it's a song about somebody who, you know, just travels a lot, just wants to be home with your woman, and yeah, nothing too deep. It's one of those things in life, you know. Well, Make It Move, it's funny that it's the first song on the record because it's like the last song we came up with, and we were sort of working on vocals for one of the other songs, and we were ready to go home, and just kind of came to me. I started doing it, and Drew's like, hey man, let's record that. And we ended up just writing the whole song and doing it right there. So it was one of those sort of happy accident songs, you know. And it's all the same.
Awesome. Okay.
Oh my mind, what's in store? Snakes is a song that's been sort of laying around for years, probably 10 years or more. It's a song that I wrote with Drew and Shannon back when we did Turnaround, and I like the message of the song. It kind of reminds me of me as a young person, thinking I was totally capable of handling whatever the world was going to throw at me, and then finding out how not capable I was of handling something the hard way. So.
Should've listened to my mama when she told me there's danger on that road.
Yeah,
It's like 2 beats. Which car? Just half.
Last Man Standing is a song that Drew started writing and brought the idea to us, and right when he started playing it, it sounded kind of like Foo Fighters to me, the way he was playing it, and the melody and this, like the guitar riff, and I love Foo Fighters.
Yes, I will. When the smoke clears. Woke up, looked out my door.
Signs is the title track of the record, and you know, we were sitting there writing songs when, you know, yet another one of these crazy world events came up on the TV last year, and we were just kind of like, what is going on? What You're Made Of, this is like one of those songs where bits and pieces have been hovering around for years, and then when we were writing, it all kind of came together, and Drew and Shannon came up with the chorus for it. And Drew and Shannon are so great about writing positive songs without it being cheesy. You know, it's hard. That's a hard thing to do. I mean, it's really easy to write a moody song about something that, like pain, or, you know, something painful, but to write a positive message without being like happy, joy, joy is kind of tough, and they're great at that. So. Bitter End is basically, the song is about how humanity keeps repeating the same mistakes over and over, and you know, are we just going to keep doing that until we're all gone? You know, are we going to learn from it and actually have allow it to be a lesson that lasts, and that we do something with and turn it into a positive thing, or are we just going to let it carry us into you know, to a place where we can't come back from? Stronger Together, yeah, I remember sitting with my wife and playing her the melody and the chords for this song, and asking her if she likes it. She's like, yeah, you should write that. So I often ask her what if it's worth, you know, worth pursuing, and she said yeah. She gave me the green light to go ahead and continue trying to write that one. So Drew and I ended up finishing that one.
You like with all that spank on it? Should I roll the...
Into the Light is a song that I started writing with my buddy Dennis. He came up with this riff for it that starts the song out and goes through the entire song. It's one of these where like the lyrics just kind of go with the music. It kind of reminds me of Tom Waits a little bit. I'm a huge Tom Waits fan. So. Wisdom is, yeah, it's again another one of these things. Just had a rough sketch of it for years, and I was like, I don't know how to go about writing this, and Drew's just like, well, let's just start just recording it, and then write it as you record it. Okay. And that really worked. It worked really well. So it was kind of written on the fly as it was being recorded.
Whole world in his hand, wisdom.
I guess it would be like just a linear motion over those changes.
You can do that.
Go ahead and close your eyes, the day is the time.
Singing Songs is a song that I initially wrote with Dewan Hill, who is a good friend of mine and plays keyboards with us from time to time on the road, and I played on the record as well. And we just wrote it on the bus, and then Drew and Shannon helped us finish the lyrics to it. And it was a challenge getting that song together. It has strings on it.
We'll go on singing songs.
yeah, I'm really happy with that song. It's very different from the other songs, but I thought it'd be a good... It's like if we were in the 90s, it would be the secret song. Like, that you have to like let the record run out for 5 minutes till you hear it. But so when you're listening to the record, just think of it as the secret song.
Give me when the chords start changing a little faster. I couldn't hear it very well.
The longer I do this, the more I find out I'm just a cog in the wheel of it. It's not mine. It's for a purpose, and there's kind of a responsibility with it, I guess, a little bit, and to sort of honor it. And I guess what I mean by that is like it's about people, you know. A song can be an amazing thing for somebody. It can be something that turns your entire life around. When you finish a project, or for me anyway, I'm convinced that I've absolutely drained whatever well of creativity that I have access to, and nothing will ever come of it again. And then, you know, a year later or whatever, that it just turns on again, and it's like songs just start coming. So I mean, I'm convinced that there's a part of this whole existence that we can't quantify, you know, and wherever this stuff comes from, you know, I'm definitely not in control of it, but I'm glad I'm able to have like an antenna that can receive some of it, you know. And yeah, you can't really control when it happens, but when it does, try to get as much of it as I can and record it. I've been doing this since I was about 13 years old, been traveling around playing music, and you know, certain parts of it get old, but the parts of it that are awesome outweigh all those parts. So yeah, I still really love it. It's worth being able to do what I love to do. Being able to do that for a living is pretty amazing.
Yeah, Barry.